Endowed scholarships offer a unique and extremely valuable opportunity for students who are seeking financial assistance for paying for college. Endowed scholarships are funded by donations and then invested to where the ongoing income actually provides the funds to help students out financially. Understanding how endowed scholarships work, how to find them, how to apply for them, can set your student up for success and hopefully long-term funding throughout their entire college experience. So we're going to cover that today, where I'm going to talk about what endowed scholarships are and how to find and win them. Now make sure you hit subscribe because every week we have a new strategy for you and your family to work towards a debt-free degree. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures rather than ones with decades of student debt. Now, our families have secured well over $13 million to date, and endowed scholarships definitely is part of that. So we have seen a lot of this. Let's dive in. First, what are endowed scholarships? These are a distinct type of financial aid scholarships that are designed to provide long-term support for students. You will see a lot of scholarships where a company or maybe a lawyer's office or a doctor's office or something gave out a one-time scholarship and then they didn't do it again. They maybe had a tougher year, so they didn't do it, but they rely on setting aside a set of funds for that scholarship award for that year. Conversely, endowed scholarships are this ongoing, long-lasting fund. So let me explain more about that. So first, these are permanent funding sources. So the idea here is that basically the donations that were given to create this scholarship fund are initially invested, and then that principal amount remains intact. So only the interest or the income generated from that principal amount can be given out as awards. This is to ensure that it always exists. This creates a very reliable source of financial aid for students that receive it and can support students for many, many years to come. You'll see a lot of these at very elite schools. Secondly, is that a lot of times these are donor-defined criteria. So the donors actually establish what are the criteria for recipients. This can be academic achievements, financial need, community service, maybe a particular field of study that they're passionate about. But understanding this criteria is important for you and your student because, of course, if they don't meet it, they're not going to win it. And also, we want to tailor our application to focus on the criteria that meant a lot to that donor. Third is that endowed scholarships are very competitive and prestigious typically. Like I mentioned, you'll see a lot of these at, for example, the Ivy Leagues. But of course they're going to be competitive because they are well-funded, well-established, and long-lasting. Now, comment below, has your student applied for any endowed scholarships? If so, comment below and share which ones, because we'd love to share just a list of comments for parents so that they can see what's out there. Okay, let's get into how to secure endowed scholarships. So if your student is seeking out money for college, then this is a great place to look, but it does require careful preparation and attention to detail. First and foremost, researching the available scholarships. This is really by searching at the specific schools that they're considering. Their financial aid offices will often have information on their website about the main scholarship funds that they offer, and a lot of times they'll be the endowed ones. Looking up the criteria and deadlines well ahead of time, even say junior year in high school, means that our student can set themselves up to meet those criteria. Again, it can be based on academic achievements, extracurriculars, career goals, major, career path, financial need. Now, of course, endowed scholarships through universities are huge and a great opportunity, but we also always want to be applying for outside scholarships at the same time. If we are eligible for endowed ones, we are definitely eligible for other ones. So if you want to check out my free training where I cover my 6 steps to securing scholarships, I cover all about how to find those outside scholarships. You can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free training or click on this video, and we will also put the link in the description to all the resources I mentioned. The next step is understanding that criteria. So again, we want to review this carefully. Some are very limited, very specific, certain demographics, geographic regions, career plans. But again, we don't want to get our hopes up seeing this huge scholarship source at a school and then find out that our student's not even eligible. Next step is to prepare a strong application. Like I mentioned, these are often very, very competitive because they're long and well established. Tailoring application materials with your student, having them craft their personal statement, their resume, any letters of recommendation, their essays, and really highlighting how they meet specific criteria or mission or values aligned with that fund can make them stand out. We want to emphasize any kind of academic achievements, leadership experiences, community service, any unique qualities that really make them stand out. I have a whole video with scholarship essay tips for high schoolers. You can check that out at the video here, or we will link to it in the description. You can check it out after this. Next is to submit all required documents. If your student is about to hit submit, please, please, please be the second set of eyes. Make sure that they have everything necessary and in the formats that are required. These will often ask for a lot of things: transcripts, letters of recommendation, financial aid information. So missing any of this can result in a late submission, or if they don't even realize that they'd missed something, it can just be thrown in the trash. And honestly, if it's late, it's probably going to be thrown out as well. So we don't want to get disqualified after we did all that work. We want to make sure that our student gets their application in on time and accurately. Next is to follow up if necessary. So having your student reach out to the committee professionally, respectfully, just to see if there's any update. If there wasn't a clear, we will let you know by X, or they haven't announced the winners. This can show a student's commitment to it and keep them in the top of the mind of the committee. But if not done professionally, it can also hinder them. So we want to make sure that they do it right. Lastly, when going for endowed scholarships, students actually should prepare for some kind of interview. So this will vary, not all will require it, but very competitive scholarship funds will often do interviews. In the scholarship system in our online course, which I have linked in the description, we actually have a whole lesson on interviewing for scholarship money because this has become something that's even more popular than it used to be. These will often be common questions like what we are asked when we are applying for an internship or a job. So having your student prepare for that and preparing with them can actually make them more successful, not just in the scholarship world, but in admissions and internships and their career. This is a great skill set, which is why they do it. They should be prepared to share their goals, their career goals, their achievements, how that aligns and sets them up for success in college and beyond, and also, of course, how the money can help them get there. Okay, so that said, endowed scholarships are extremely, extremely beneficial to students if they can receive them. So I highly recommend students going for them. If there is one that they meet the criteria and they think that they could win, I say shoot for the stars. But we also always want to make sure that we are applying to other scholarships as well that are maybe lower hanging fruit, which is what I talk more about in that free webinar that I talked about. So again, you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free training to register for that one. But again, these endowed scholarships, they're a great resource for students and they are well established, and we know that we can trust that money to be there for all 4 years or 5. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe because there are lots of money sources beyond endowed scholarships. Every week we have a new strategy for you and your family. All right, I'll see you in the next video.